taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
I know motherfuckers want to hear our thoughts on this Tank Frank Martin card that's next weekend, man. And as we mentioned before, and we're gonna go from top to bottom. But yeah, we're getting 3 fights in the preview, and yes, and those fights are better than last week's TR card. But yeah, since we're starting from top to bottom, the main event: Gervonta Tank Abdul Wahid Davis. Does he even go by Abdul Wahid anymore? Like, it seemed like that was
I don't know, bro. Like,
yeah, it seemed like being a Muslim was like a phase. Like it came and went. Like, because like I mean,
it was like temporary DLC for like the month. Like,
yeah,
it was like a new skin you put on the game character. Like, there was some new boxing trunks for fight night. You know what I mean?
yeah, and then but it seemed like once he.
Hey, yo, William Haney, man, you got all those gold chains and shit, my nigga. Put some in the super chat, bro.
Says facts though. But I mean, obviously, we have our thoughts on Tank and Frank Martin. Like, Tank's coming off a long layoff because due to some legal issues, and then Frank Martin has been out since his win over Haratunian, and the Shakur fight fell through, or he didn't take the fight, and he's coming off basically a bad performance. So it's basically like both these guys have something to answer for. So I'll let it to you, LB. Like, so how do you think this fight's gonna go, and what's your prediction?
Damn, why me first? Like, I'm like, let these new niggas get on. I mean, let them eat first. I mean, like, I want to hear what they gotta say.
All right, Pilot, what do you think about the fight? Wait, is that private chat? Oh, this nigga stepped away. King P, your final thought? Oh, not your final.
Your final thought.
So your thought about the Tank and Frank Martin fight?
It's a good fight. I've always liked this fight. Frank presents a different challenge to Tank. I think that his athleticism and his punch selection and his pop will kind of make things a little interesting for Tank. I think Tank isn't gonna just be able to just get him out of there with one punch like that easily, because Frank's not gonna walk into things. He's gonna set it up where it's like Tank is gonna have to work for that counter shot. But I think eventually it'll come. I think late in the fight, I think he'll get the timing down. I think he'll get Frank's some of his awkward movement, and I think Frank is going to push the fight at times. And I think when he tries to push the fight is when he's going to get clipped. And I'm going to say ninth round uppercut from hell, down for the count. He gets sent to the shadow realm. So okay. It's going to be a real good fight though, for as long as it lasts. Yeah, I think ninth round.
Yeah, I think Chris Brown agrees with you because he says Tank by brutal KO.
Damn.
AO Pilot.
It's not going to be an easy one.
Well, what did LB pick? I stepped out, my fault. What did LB?
No, he didn't pick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nah, I said let young niggas eat, man.
I've been thinking about this. The elephant in the room is this is Tank's first, African American slick boxer. If you want to call him slick, I'm just saying this. That's what I think adds intrigue in this. I think Frank Martin's best bet, honestly.
Black nigga with gloves ain't slick, nigga. Damn.
But I'm saying I feel like Frank Martin's best path to victory, unfortunately, would be similar. He'd have to make Tank chase him. Like, he has to fight in a sense, like how Jermaine Ortiz fought Teofimo. But more active. But I'm just saying, bank on seeing if Tank can cut the rim off and chase him, and try chasing him, because I feel like if he engages in a firefight, he's gonna get got. So I think that's his best path. But I think Tank's IQ and everything in between is gonna prevail. I can see it really going like how Chris Brown said, a brutal KO, in a fifth round. But I could also see it being a really close fight on the cards. But officially decision, I'm gonna say Tank's gonna knock him out like in 7. I don't know. I just feel like Tank is hungry. Frank, the bright lights might be too much for Frank right now. He did struggle in that our team fight. Some people thought he lost. I think the knockdown got him the victory, secured him the victory. But Frank did, he's a late bloomer. He's done a good job. I mean, but I just think Tank's another level of a fighter, and Tank's gonna stop him. His IQ is too high, and he's gonna get him. Yeah.
What round?
A 7th round knockout.
Okay, I can see that too. I mean, basically, my thing. I think Tank is going to win by knockout, but my whole thing is, I just think Frank Martin is lacking the type of experience he probably needs to go into a ring with somebody like Tank. Like, I get, he's a late bloomer. He's a former football player, and like he has shown, solid athleticism, solid boxing skills. But it's just like. But that last fight of his just made me think, like, if he's having this much trouble with someone like this, what's he gonna do with someone like Tank? And this is where I struggle to see. Like, I honestly, because I think what Frank has to do, he has to be able to put some rounds together. He has to be able to bank some rounds at least, and because honestly, that's probably his best way. Because I don't see him knocking Tank has a really solid chin. Like, it's hard to buzz him. And I don't think Frank is that type of puncher either. So he's gonna have to really work and he's gonna have to keep Tank on his back foot, because Frank Martin is strong. Though he's
to wrestle. I mean, he has a wrestling background. I mean,
he's gonna have to find somewhat either tying Tank up or keeping him on his back foot, because he's gonna have to be able to put together rounds after rounds at least, to get a decent thing, to at least get a decent, build on the cards. But I just think that Tank, like I said, Tank will make the appropriate adjustments, or Tank will back foot box and lead him into a trap, similar to what he did to Rolly. And then because Frank Martin, like I said, he loses steam, because although he's gone 12 before, he does lose steam in the second half of the fight, and I just think Tank is going to lure him into a vicious counter and just brutally knock him out. I am picking round 8 for that to happen. I think Tank will get rid of him by 8. LB?
I can see where y'all coming from. I think I see this a little different though. Frank Martin is one of those guys where he got like the solid, like he's a great creative player type of boxer. Like he has about like above average, more like everything you need really. Like 1 through 10, his power maybe a 7.5. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Which is more than enough to do some damage on niggas.
I mean, there's a few times where it looked like an 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, but he has a temperament of a guy with 8, which helps his case. Because we've seen him have gut checks. We've seen him fight guys that people thought were better than him. He's seen some different types of styles. I think he gets a lot of extra flack for his last fight. Because the thing is, like we celebrate Osaki Foster for the same shit damn Frank Martin did. So is it maybe Frank Martin underachieves? So I don't know, like, but I feel like I don't know if we'll see a knockout in this Tank fight. I think this would be like a Tank decision.
Tank decision. Okay, well, as you're saying that, I'm just going through the odds right now. Of course, currently right now, if you're picking straight up money line, Tank is a minus 700 favorite. Frank Martin is a plus 480 underdog. Now we go to the method of victories. A Tank points or decision is plus 300. Tank KO is minus 175. A draw is plus 2400. Frank Martin points decision is plus 750, and the KO is plus 1400.
But the thing is, the reason why I say it'll go to decision because Frank Martin, he's been buzzed. He's scrappy. He has the skill set. He has good enough power. He's fast. He has quick hands. He's undefeated. Like, he just brings a different set of intangibles that I think Tank hasn't seen in a while.
And I can see that too.
He's not a flat-footed.
And Tank has even been a little nervous. Like, the interviews, and they even said it, like, with the whole, he was nervous with Ryan Garcia, like.
I appreciate that because I prefer that. I prefer that over a guy like no offense to Haney, calling Ryan a teacher TikToker and getting beat up all night. No, PEDs aside, I'm just saying I appreciate because a fighter's gonna be nervous. A fighter's gonna be. I mean, if you play sports or box, you're gonna be nervous before your event, before your game starts. So I'm just saying
especially when they're dangerous. Yeah. And Ryan Garcia is dangerous.
Tank said, I don't want to be hit with those punches. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be hit with those punches.
Yeah. And I think Frank Martin is dangerous, but more in an overall sense. Like you gotta be like a Corrales type of nigga, like somebody who could just punch off rip. Like you gotta have the approach where I think you gotta just knock out Frank Martin early.
Right.
Could you see you just can't outbox him for stretches? Because he's too much of a fighter. Like,
could you see Frank getting a
Alexander in him?
Could you see Frank getting a flash knockdown, LB? Could you see him get Frank?
I can see them exchanging it. Like, honestly, we haven't got like a fight with a good fight with two Americans, like two niggas in like a good while, bro.
It's gonna be like
on the world stage. Like
a poor man Zab Floyd the first four. Like a very poor man version.
We might get the fight that niggas thought Spence and Crawford was supposed to be. Meaning like it's a good fight. Like one dude might win, might be better, but you can see like both guys are on the level. Like niggas would say Spence ain't even belong with Crawford. I don't think you'll say that with this fight.
I mean, in my case, I said, Spence would absolutely positively lose to Crawford and get KO.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what the fight looked like. Shit, like Spence ain't look like he belonged with Crawford. Like, I don't think Frank Martin is gonna end up looking like he don't belong with Tank.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that to be. Now, if it is, it'll be one of Tank's complete performances. Probably his most complete performance ever.
Yeah. Because he has like all the like. If a guy like Mario Barrios could be successful, have rounds, and damn, almost make Tank go life and death type shit, then Frank Martin definitely has a shot. If I was him, I would just box aggressively and do the in and out shit, kind of push Tank back, but then have Tank come to you sometimes.
And hoping that he gets kind of sloppy when he does come forward.
Yeah, and catch him in between, because he has the power, the speed, to do it. Wrap up if you have to, clinch, use that strength. But, I'm sure they went through all that. But that's just me, just a bullshit ass couch nigga type of strategy off the top of the head type shit. I mean, not a couch nigga, like niggas know we box, like shit.
And I mean, for that one, all I hope is, I mean, number one, the main event actually delivers in some fashion. You know,
it will. Like, honestly, like this, we gonna see a good fight, bro. Like, I don't see how. Like, because if Frank Martin falls behind, Tank gonna pick it up to try to stop it. Mm-hmm. And he punched too hard to just let Tank do what he want. And I feel like if Tank falls behind, Frank Martin gonna pick it up because Tank punched too hard to just not try to hurt him.
Right.
And it's just a temperament. Like, we black people, we need this fight, man. I'm just being honest. Like, we don't see enough young, like, black stars or names like face each other on this stage. Like, we used to have it all the time in the 90s. And it's like, it's somehow niggas, it's like it went like reverse hip hop, it turned regional. Like, niggas is like, all right, we want you niggas against, these white dudes in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. We got you Caribbean niggas against these damn West Coast dudes. We got you New York guys against you Mexican guys from Texas. But then y'all took that game, y'all took that blueprint and took it to the world. Cause then y'all was like, all right, so we got Russians going against British dudes. No, we gonna have Mexicans fight Russians. No, Mexicans versus British dudes. Africans versus Russians. Yeah, that worked. And it's like, yo, nigga, just match people up.
Right.
There's a lot of these times, these fights be right here good, but it's like, I feel like they don't want to tap into the urban demographic and be like, here, let's make this fight. And I don't want to give Ryan Garcia credit, but he's been that one guy who's been fighting these niggas.
Hold on, let me ask you real quick before we get off this one. How would Frank Martin fare against whether it be Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney? Like, how would he, like, I'm just wondering real quick, what do you think? Like,
based off their last fights?
Yeah, would he crack Devin Haney? Like, would he beat Devin Haney, really? I mean, do you think?
I think he beat both.
Huh.
Because his work rate is steady, but then he's scrappy. Like, a nigga who is above average in everything, but then he's scrappy. And he got that fighter in him, that dog in him, which Frank Martin has. You've seen it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm always going to pick him against guys who don't really have the work rate. They kind of up and down. They don't really push moments. Like, Frank Martin, he knows that, like, it's like that James Tony Gerard fight. Like, when Freddie Roach was like, yo, man, you need to put this guy on his ass. What did James Tony do? Like,
put him on his ass in the last round.
That's what the game is missing. And I recall Frank Martin and them was like, I think Frank Martin needed to pick it up in his last fight.
He needed that art on the Artem fight, because he needed that bad.
And honestly, that speaks to me. Like, when you're able to deliver, I mean, not everybody's like Crawford, where they could knock the nigga out when they do that. Like,
just randomly, just come out of nowhere randomly.
Because, with the Sean Porter fight, or at least convince his father to stop the fight. If you want to be more technical, I don't need. Well, actually,
this nigga.
But if you could turn it on, you could turn it on, bro. Like, and Frank Martin, that might be his best ability, just being scrappy and having the talent to just be on the level with Tank. Sometimes that's all you need to have enough diplomatic advantage or diplomatic stake in a fight. Like, I look at this fight as like maybe 65-35 Tank, 60, maybe 60-40. I mean 55-35 Tank.
55-45, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm fucking up, bro. But yeah, man, you get what I'm saying. Like Tank the favorite definitely. One thing I'll do mention real quick. The promotion for this fight is kind of just like I don't know what it is.
It's non-existent.
Bro, the gloves off. The gloves off for like 15 minutes long. What the fuck is? I mean, it's good. It's well produced, but if y'all watch the 2 episodes, like one's 18 minutes, one's 14 minutes. Like it's like long ass trailers now. What the fuck happened to the documentaries, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like it's not hitting at all. It's not there. Like Pat said, it's non-existent. It feels like we're like the Zoo Fundora fight, the Thurman, all of that shit. It felt like we got like a real introduction. I know Amazon was the main thing, that set that off, but I feel like this fight is on some like you go into like a place for wings, but then a nigga pulls you by the shoulder and be like, hey, come over here. Hey, we got ribs here too. Hey, check this out. We got ribs.
I mean, I think they're banking that just off take them, just try to make it word of mouth. Oh, this tank here, so yeah, we'll assume that most people will just buy this shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they just trying to sell it on some like we got you through the door with Zoo and Fundora, and yeah, this is Amazon, so hey, we got Tank. Hey, we got that Benavidez kid too. Hey, you heard of him? Yeah, we got 2 of the faces of boxing. Instead of really looking at it like, hey. You got 2 undefeated young fighters.
He also dropped Virgil Ortiz, William Haney. He dropped Virgil Ortiz in the Amis too.
Yeah, he had his foot behind him, bro. Like he kind of strategically, low key placed that there. Like I get it. Like nigga, we boxed 2, and Virgil Ortiz even said it on there. Like niggas just hating. Like so, shout outs to Virgil Ortiz. But the whole downplay of Frank being Spence's fighter, but Frank being trained by damn what's his name?
That is kind of weird. A little bit.
Yeah. That's weird.
Derek James.
Yeah, the Derek James, like boxing needs to stop with this whole like I want to keep a clean image when I'm promoting this shit. Like fuck that. If niggas beefing, bring this shit up. Like turn this shit up. Like y'all did the same thing with.
No, I'm just reading Wendell's comment. We said respectfully, the gloves off episodes on David Benavidez was pretty boring. I mean, they were both boring. Like both episodes.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. Like they did the same thing with Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Like, they've been beefing, and their whole family had a beef and all that shit for years. And there's video documentation, all of that shit. And they did not play it up at all. It's just they just let it die and didn't say. And I'm just like tap into that shit. Like the internet, like y'all, the internet literally gives dudes the chance to be stars. So you don't think it's gonna fuel promotions?
Yeah. No, but instead, we got more an extended talk about Caleb's fucking shoe collection. Give 2 shits about this nigga's sneakers, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, boring. Yeah, let me see when Caleb Plant smacked up the older Benavidez.
Right.
These niggas arguing, cracking jokes. Like, it's like, yo, like, bring that shit. Like, that's what we want to see. That's what's going to push these fights. So, I know, and I'm sorry, I'm going to wrap this up, God. Frank Martin has been like, he ain't really been selling the fight. I'm a yes and no on that. Like, one way you could look at it, like, alright, he's locked in, he's focused, he's zeroed in, he ain't really putting no extra effort and nothing else. He's trying to win this motherfucking fight. So, okay, I get that. But then that's the thing. On the reverse is, when you finally get these big fights, these pay-per-views, you're on the world stage, world-class event, all that shit, yada, yada, yada. Good, solid card, top down, bottom, my nigga. If you're not, I'm not saying you have to be over the top, but if you're not really selling these fights or selling yourself or making yourself endearing to the public or, likable or just interesting, I would just even say just flat out interesting. win or lose, if you win, it's like it's more about damn, Tank really must have fucked up. Like, what, this nigga, he was like, he having baby mama drama. He he trying to release an album. Like, what, he was smoking. What was he doing? But if you know what I mean? But if you sell yourself, or you tell your story or whatnot, or you're just more engaged, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, if you do that and you win, it's more of, yo, who's this Frank Martin nigga? Yo, this Frank Martin kid is nasty. Like, he's nice with it. Like, yo, God, like, he got hands. Like, yo, this nigga shooting fades. Like, so that's the thing, man. Like, just imagine if Dylan White would have beat Fury. It would have been, so this the nigga Wilder was ducking. It would have been, damn, man, Fury, bro. Like, yo, like, that Wilder fight took everything out of him. Like, he really wasn't shit. Like, yeah, this nigga, like, yeah, he garbage. Like, it wouldn't have been about Dylan White. So right. That's all I'm saying. Like, whenever you got a chance to sell your story, sell it. Like, just be engaging. Like, cause yeah, I mean, you don't know how the fight could be. This nigga could have the perfect 90 seconds and Tank could drop him and stop him in the first round, and that's it. Mm-hmm. You could be Ocampo Spence, nigga. Like. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, we could get on to the next. But yeah, my official prediction is Tank by decision. Like, this might be like a damn Kawasaki-Kessler type of fight. 116, 112. Tank having problems until he make a good adjustment. And Frank Martin just keeps being scrappy, but he never pulls ahead again.
Right. But, and regarding the rest of the card, I mean, there are obviously there are other fights I think.
Agreed, Wendell.
Yeah, I think I think there are other fights on the card. Obviously, that I think that might be more one side, like the co-main. Like, I mean, like I said, because I talked about it before, David Benavidez and Alexander Gvozdyk, and I get it. You know, Benavidez is going up to 175, and you know, apparently this is following a plan of His Excellency of some sort. You know, to give him, like, you know, he's going up to 175. Let's give him an interim title shot against Gvozdyk, who used to rule the light heavyweights briefly. But the problem with Gvozdyk is, I have a hard time. I mean, number one, like I said, I was there when he got pummeled by Better Beef. I saw the after effects. I saw everything on this, and like, you know, he was badly hurt. He was damaged by Better Beef. So I know, yeah. I mean, and you know, he's made his comeback on of all things, Matchroom cards against low-level competition, but you're going from that to facing someone like Benavidez, and you know, Gvozdyk is not young; he's like 37. Like he's getting.
But he's a preserved at 37, and he was the favorite against Beterbiev or Beterbiev.
Yeah, and yes, and before he got stopped, he actually was winning the fight, but he just took too much of Beterbiev.
I mean, it is Beterbiev though. I mean, you know, I'm saying it is Beterbiev. I'm hearing people think Gvozdyk has a chance for real. I don't know. I'm hearing that.
I mean, there's a chance of
honestly, this is a good fight. Like, it's not being talked about like that.
But I mean, I'm just because this is just my own, because I was there. I honestly think Beterbiev will probably beat the shit out of him. Like, I just.
Oh wow.
Like I honestly,
like easy, like we're talking about like the Carlos Quintana.
No, it's not. It's gonna accumulate. It's gonna be one of those accumulated beatings,
like the Lemieux fight for Benavidez, kind of.
Like almost like that, you know. But it might be. But Gvozdyk is tough. Is a little bit tougher than Lemieux was. I honestly think it's gonna be on that type of level. I just. And this is I just don't. I mean, there's a chance of upset, but I just see Gvozdyk. I think it's just Benavidez is just too much for him at this point. I
mean, Gvozdyk got power. Like, he's strong. You know, he could bomb.
Benavidez hasn't fought 175 in a while. I know people think it's his first fight. He's actually fought early, you know, a couple times there. Shout out to Benavidez. He was on the $1 million worth of game. It was a pretty good episode.
But my decision, my prediction is I think Benavidez is going to get him out of there by like 8, somewhere around there. Like round 8 is my prediction.
Oh wow, okay.
King P.
You know what? I actually think this goes the distance. I've been like going back and forth on it, and I think this goes the distance. Yes, we saw Better Beef did to Vostok, but I mean, let's be real. Benavidez, as much as I think highly of Benavidez, he ain't cracking like Beterbiev. Different levels of power and just that clubbing get you out of there with one shot. Like that's Beterbiev. Like Benavidez is gonna have to be aggressive and put his punches together and just be Benavidez. Like Benavidez isn't cracking like Beterbiev. Maybe a late stoppage if he like wears him out. Pause. Like, but like Vostok is 37, but I don't think he's an old 37. He took some time off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's preserved. Like he ain't that active. Old like that.
He was active. He fought 3 times, so I'll give that. He's active, and I just don't think he's gonna be there to just lay down. Pause. Like, and Benavidez coming up at 175, so we'll see what he looks like in his first fight at 175 since he first started. Like, so like I said, I think he's gonna win. I got Benavidez in a unanimous decision. I think maybe he'll even hurt him at the end, but I don't off accumulation. But I don't think he'll stop Vostok. Vostok is crafty enough that he'll be able to survive. So I got UD by Benavidez.
Scores
like 117, 111. Like I think he'll beat Vostok clearly. He just won't stop him.
Hold on. Well, okay, so let me ask you this: you think with the rounds Vostok wins because they'll like maybe 3 rounds? He'll be
competitive. He will be competitive. I will say that.
It's not going to his rounds big though, or it'll just be like he just outworked him, or he landed a better shot that round.
I think there will be rounds where Benavidez gets it off of work rate, and then I think there will be a couple rounds. I think at the end is where Benavidez is really going to pull away and like win those rounds with authority.
Oh, okay.
Pilot, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very intriguing fight. Shouts out to, I know PBC, the Prime is kind of looking a little weird. That's why they're stacking these cards because, they ain't getting funded because, Benavidez Vostok would probably be a main event. I don't know if it'd be a pay-per-view main event, but it'd be a main event, at least a triple header. It's a really intriguing fight. Benavidez, I don't know, I feel like this guy's work ethic, being a fat kid, determined, he looks like literally the Rock character, the Rock cartoon character when he was a kid. Y'all saw he looks like, what I'm saying? He's came a long way. And I think it's a testament to his work ethic. I know he's dropped, he lost the belt a couple times, on the scales, different kind of scales, but
different kind of scales.
And he's the youngest middleweight champion. I know he didn't. People talk about the gravel fights and he getting dropped. He was really young in those fights, and he's improved. Ever since. I feel like he has improved. He had one of the better years of 2023. And I think it's just going to be a little too much for Vostok. I think Vostok will have some success. Because Benavidez kind of, I'm saying he's a slow starter, but he kind of, a couple first rounds kind of just lets things go. But I think he's going to overwhelm him, kind of similar to what Pat thinks. It might be a Lemieux type of situation where he's just going to, be too fast, too strong. I don't know about big. I think they're about the same size, right? Probably, roughly.
Yeah. I'm still laughing at you, Pilot. I ain't even gonna lie. He said, it wasn't the weight scale, it was the fish scale.
But I'm gonna pick Benavidez by a stoppage, probably in round 9.
Karma said he's never gonna let us forget that he was fat. I mean, I wouldn't either, man.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, you're like 300 pounds type shit.
I mean, it's Smith's work ethic because I mean, you know, he always talks about it. You know, on the Gillian Wallow. He's talking.
That's the thing. It's like you gotta move on. I feel like there's some storylines your career gotta move past.
The Mendoza with the game was good, but he brought it up again about him being fat. You know,
he's on some punch shit. I lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live.
But yeah, I think you know, I could, you know, again, both these events are intriguing. Both the main and the co-main are intriguing because the element of the unknown in a sense, because Gosdick, you know, he did have the loss to Better Beef, but he's been a beast, you know, and he is legit probably a top 5 at 175 to be honest, still. But I think Benavidez will handle him.
All right, LB, what about you? LB, did you give a prediction already or no?
Oh, my bad, yo. I got a call real quick. I feel like this is a good fight. It's probably the most slept on fight of the card. I kind of feel like we're looking at it like Benavidez already won. That's how it kind of feels. I mean, the whole card feels like, I mean, the co-main and the main feel like that. When it's like, it's one of those intangible fights. And I think just his momentum, the youth, the boxing ability, combinations, all of that, and he's just steadily improving. Benavidez wins that, but I don't know if he'll just do enough where he'll beat the shit out of Gosdick and just get him out of there. Like, I think he might drop him late or something, but you know, I kind of see how King P see this shit. Like, you know, this fight screaming decision. But I feel like it could be more in the 116, 112 round. Like, Gosdick could make it a better competitive, like, it low key, like, as far as action goes and ebb and flow and pacing, this might be the fight of the night. But yeah, David Benavidez by unanimous decision, 116, 112 twice, and 117, 111.
Damn, you're picking no KOs in these codes in these.
Because it's like the fights, like it's different types of circumstances in these fights, yo. Shit, when you get to the first two fights, I actually think KOs are happening again.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Decision City on this card.
Yeah, like when you have even
a couple.
Yeah, when you have well balanced, like well matched up fights, you'll get that. Look at the 5-on-5.
I definitely think that Adames Goucher fight is going the distance. That does not scream knockout to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's the only one of the fights I actually like. That's actually going distance because.
And it has like the most punch ability in that fight.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, and it's the fight that I say I'm not excited about the fight because Goucher has never really. I mean, Goucher has his moments, but the problem is his best career moments are moments. They're not necessarily wins. You know, they're like
he could hurt you, but he's never gonna like capitalize on it. Like,
I mean, the closest thing he's had to that is the Trout fight, and that's like the only fight where you see dude was like literally the fight was like dude was actually fighting, you know, and Trout
and
was
he's got a draw in that.
Yeah, and Trout was having one of his bad days.
Yeah,
but
you need to have another one of those good days in this fight if you trying to win this shit.
Yeah, because I mean I get it because he's moving up and it's like because he's been through the 154 gauntlet and it hasn't been working for him, and then he has Adames who I side eye. Of course, I mentioned before since it's a Sheriff fight. I'm not a believer in him, and I could easily see him lose. I could see him losing like on an upset, But one thing about at least with Adames is he will throw his hands and he will keep busy. His work rate will be busy. But
now the thing is with that, he's a busy nigga that be getting hurt his damn self.
that's also true.
And he was getting buzzed way too many times by J-Rock. So
He's
I
busy,
feel like
but he's a busy, slow starter, if that makes sense, though. Because he be starting slow, and then he just picks up as things go along.
And then he be up and down from there and explosive at the same time.
Before he gasses out, before the Platanos take control.
But yeah, and Cachet, in order for Cachet to win this fight, he has to stop looking for counters. He has to stop. He actually has to let his.
But that's his game. If he's gonna do that, punch with him and clip him, because he could knock Adames out.
Yeah, of course he can.
But
Cachet's
he's not gonna throw his punches enough to do it. So he has to like bank on some. He has to turn into Peter Quillen and Danny Garcia for one night.
But he's not. Cachet is one of those, what I've talked about, one of those, I'm going to throw a punch, I'm going to counter, but it's got to be the perfect opportunity. And if it's not, I'm going to just wait. I'm going to just wait for it. And then when that perfect opportunity comes, like, bro, like, just make the opportunity. It's not, just stop waiting for it. That's annoying, but that's Cachet.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, yeah, I mean, I actually think Adames was one of them struggle decisions. And it might be a decision, though, I can see it could be a fight of the night type of fight if both guys have their minds right, but most likely not.
That's not going to be a fight of the night. No way.
No, it has a possibility because they're former 154 pounders.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say,
go ahead. No, go ahead. I was going to say fight of the night in potential only, but in all practicality.
Yeah, in potential. Yeah. Because the reason why I say it has potential because I look at the temperaments, and Adames, he one of those guys where he puts his punches together, and he'll push it. If he got you hurt, and if he hurts Goucher, that might make Goucher more dangerous, or that might make him fight back. It might turn into I have to throw punches, or this dude will knock me out. Now Goucher got a good chin. But you never know. Right.
He hasn't been stopped yet. So if Adames stopped, if Adames actually stopped him, that would actually be okay. That would actually speak volumes.
It would be a good look because Cachet didn't even get stopped by Zoo, and Zoo is a better puncher than Adames, especially the way he puts his punches together.
He dropped Zoo in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, and that's what he has going for him. Like. And then a guy like Adames, like he's vulnerable the whole fight, like the way he fights.
Yeah, his name to me, he's mid-Dames. He's all right, but he's
But he'll have moments where he'll look great though.
Like I want to see him versus Lara. You know what I'm saying? For it's a unification. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would like to see that fight.
Lara gonna get packed up by Elijah Garcia.
Well, we hope though, because either way,
is Elijah Garcia fighting on this card?
Yeah, he's
Tyrone Davis.
So they really making that fight. I thought that would never happen.
Yeah, he's the main event for the YouTube Prime, the YouTube.
Yeah, that's a real good fight.
Oh shit, that's a good fucking fight.
Yeah, and then of course on the round out the main card is the 140 Gary Russ, Angry Fist facing Alberto Puello, who I am not high on. And that should also probably be fairly one-sided too, in my opinion.
That's an Angry Fist stop.
It's a WBC interim. It's supposed to be a WBC interim title fight.
Yeah, that's just the fancy way of saying they're gonna fight the winner of Haney and Sandor Martin.
Yeah, basically
for the actual belt
eventually.
But yeah, this fight. I mean, that fight doesn't need an interim belt. It's just these are who are fighting next. And honestly, 140 Gary Rush should beat the shit out of Puello. Like
he should stop. He better. I mean,
this might be the only KO.
He better. I mean, he should.
Late stoppage, 10th round stoppage.
Yeah, I have a 10, like around 10 too, because Puello knows how to survive. But I do think 140 Gary Rush will close the show.
I say JR and 8 for me.
Yeah, and Puello is one of those hittable survivors.
He is tough. He is tougher than he looks, though. I will give him that.
He is, but he don't have no offense that's going to really stifle niggas either.
Yeah, which is why I was outraged.
Okay.
which is why I was so outraged that that dude actually got the nod over Aquadev, which I just did not see.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
I mean, Aquadev was one of those fighters that is a draw fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those guys. He's that style, man.
Don't tell that to Pat.
Aquadev is a more entertaining fighter. He's more entertaining to watch play. I to this day I just don't see how he won that damn fight. But that's. Let me not digress because I can go off on Akhmedov being shafted. Well, I won't I won't Sims. Sims beat him, and I had no problem with that one. But everything else is just like, no. So, but yeah, that rounds out the main card, and then the preview card. I mean, Elijah Garcia and Tyrone Davis, like that in itself. These are the type of fights that Top Rank should be putting together.
Nigga, that's the main event on Top Rank.
Yeah. And Elijah Garcia.
I'm talking like a real main event that starts at like 11 o'clock main event.
Right. I think the free views for this start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. I think.
Oh wow, the Bomba Club. This is PBC on Prime, bro. Yeah. Usually they start at 6:30, but now I think they start at 5:30 this time because it's 3 fights instead of 2. Yeah, I know, but but I look forward to that because Elijah Garcia, though, he has power in both hands. He's scrappy. He comes to fight, though. Although I still think he eats too many clean punches for my liking. Like bro has to know that there's something like defense. Like it's good to move your head or take some steam off punches. And he has defense. He'll use it. It's just the temperament. It just seems like he's more concerned with the offense.
Right.
Like if you'll see him move his head, and he won't get hit with like every shot or like the big ones, but there's some joints where it's like, damn, dude, shouldn't have got hit with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like his last fight, I'm just like, geez, like, I mean, I get, dude, as you want to prove you're tough, but you shouldn't be taking all these clean ass shots.
You don't want to turn in. You don't want to get that whole Oscar Valdez mentality where, you're having harder fights than you should with guys that you're better than.
Exactly.
If you're a puncher, you want to set it up where you get the most at your power and take the least amount of punishment from dudes. You don't want to be just wailing on guys and getting hit and snapped with jabs throughout the fight. Like, fuck that.
But I said that's Tyrone Davis. Tyrone Davis, though. I mean, hopefully, the beating he took from Benavides didn't, take a lot out of him, because it was a pretty steady beating, So I mean, Tyrone Davis is a good enough fighter to at least give Garcia some, some second looks at least, or maybe even, because I mean, his best performance was when he got that draw of Anthony Durrell, which was like, to me, it was like, what the fuck, like, why did that even happen? Like a draw happened in that fight, and of course, that was, that's when we knew, like, Anthony Durrell was declining as a fighter, like, really declining. When someone, like, with Tyrone Davis' record was actually able to give him that much trouble. But, like I said, this is a perfect, this is a perfect fight for, for PBC to lead off with, to give niggas for free. And then they added Mark Magsayo and Eduardo Ramirez, Now, how competitive that's going to be, because Ramirez, though, has not impressed me in a while. And, of course, I wasn't a fan of him, PBC bringing him up to go fight Cruz at a different division. That should have never happened. And Magsayo is coming off that viral one-punch KO over, where dude landed a sweeping left hook and dude drops immediately unconscious underneath the bottom rope on the apron, like coffin work. So, like, I mean, if anything, like, there might be a scrap there, and I think the opener for that was it Ramon Villa? I guess makes his comeback from the boots beating. He's he's facing another. I think he's facing another Mexican slugger on there. So yeah, I mean, at the most, the three fights should kind of wet the whistle for what will go down on the main card. But yeah, it'll probably be a little long. There's no question about that. If it starts at 5:30, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be like 11 that the main event might start. That's of course there's no horseshit and there's no kind of no bullshit ass commercials or bullshit segments or somebody talking that shouldn't be.
Hold on, this ain't in Saudi Arabia, so yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, at least the PBC on Prime cards before, like didn't have all those. It didn't have pacing issues. That's at least that's one thing that they didn't have. But obviously you'll pay your. I think it's $89. I think it's $89.99. I think it's $89. It's Tank. Yeah.
They gotta stop, yo. They gotta, yo. These pay-per-views should be like $40, nigga. Like, stop.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I also we're waiting for the first non-pay-per-view Prime card. Well, they keep on saying it's gonna be in July and August, but we'll see. We'll see what.
That's the thing. Like, every fight worth a damn nowadays is a motherfucking pay-per-view fight, and it's like y'all are like running to the well too many times. Like, we just had Fury Usyk, then y'all had the 5-on-5. Now y'all got this, and shit. Hold on, before Fury Usyk, you had hold on. Let's just back it up. Fuck this. Hold on, nigga. You had Ngannou, Joshua. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
You had Haney Garcia 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fury Usyk 3.
Mm-hmm. The 5-on-5.
5-on-5. That's
and
4.
And Canelo Munguia.
That's 5.
Mm-hmm.
And now, what is this? This is Frank Martin and Tank. This is Kevin. I mean, this is Tank. I mean, this is 6.
Mm-hmm.
6, dude. It is June, nigga.
Yeah, no, yeah. This shit.
Yo, it's almost like, remember that Twitter poll with how many pay-per-views? So we really just had 6 pay-per-views already. And what did I say? They bunched them all up in the last damn 3 months.
Right. Yeah.
It's been like one every other week.
Yeah, I mean they're lucky at least. I mean the Matchroom pay-per-views at least delivered on what they were delivering. His Excellency pay-per-views. It is what it, but it's still like not one of them could at least be for free at least. And that's why. And this is actually a good segue. That's why I'm actually
fucking Zoo Fundora 7, bro.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's 7 in 6 months. 7 pay-per-views. Are you crazy?